So, Breanna Taurasi, the 42-year-old Phoenix Mercury player. And who are they playing tomorrow? Who is Breanna Taurasi playing tomorrow? She's playing Caitlin Clark. And if you guys do want to watch it live, watch along, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for all the support recently. If we can hit 12.7k by the end of the day, that would be absolutely insane. Like, mad numbers. Just mad numbers. I had nearly 1,000 from this time yesterday. It's crazy. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Either way. So, Taurasi. Breanna Taurasi was asked about facing Caitlin Clark, and this is what she said.
Your thoughts going into facing Caitlin Clark for the first time on Sunday?
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Then turns her head to make sure she's not looking at the reporter that asked. Man. I can't wait for this one. I can't wait for this one. Like, if you've ever seen anything Breanna Taurasi has said about Caitlin Clark, like, Breanna Taurasi was, in fairness, I don't think Breanna Taurasi was that wrong with what she said, but it's just kind of the way she says. And if you ever listen to Breanna Taurasi talk, it's kind of like that. Look, I don't think anyone's ever called Taurasi a nice person. Like, Breanna Taurasi basically is a big reason why Skylar Diggins was shunned. Like, Taurasi is a cheap shot artist with the best of them. And also, like, Breanna Taurasi has literally been teed up for kissing an opponent on the court. Like, that is what Breanna Taurasi is. Like, she is, as far as mentality is concerned, trash talk, cheap shot. She will cheap shot anyone. Like, Caitlin Clark's getting at least one basketball play. One very rough basketball play in that game tomorrow. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Tomorrow, Caitlin Clark is getting at least one basketball play that's probably going to hurt her. And at the same time, every time I see Taurasi interviewed, I say to myself, now I remember why nobody watched women's basketball for 25 years. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Like, it's supposed to be a big deal. I don't get it. Of course it is. Of course it is. Like, have you ever asked, anytime anyone's asked about facing Angel Reese, it's talking, like, they'll give positives, they'll give props to the player being like, Angel Reese, they'll say nothing but positive things about Angel Reese. Anytime it's Caitlin Clark, it's whatever. And again, she had to make sure she was talking about how great UConn was in this. And a reason why this is so big as well is, if you guys have not seen, Caitlin Clark, stats-wise, is ahead of Taurasi in every single statistical category. They are tied in one. In every single statistical category, Caitlin Clark is above Breanna Taurasi. Also, Caitlin Clark is, obviously she's a point guard, so she's going to get more assists, but she's still averaging more rebounds than Taurasi. So, like, Taurasi being on Team USA is something that a lot of people are going to be saying. A lot of people don't agree with. And I don't agree with it either. Like, again, I think they should have brought a point guard. They should have brought an actual point guard. Because Chelsea Gray's still not right. I think she'll be fine by the Olympics. They should have brought an actual point guard instead of, when Chelsea Gray's off the floor, having Ionescu play out of position, or having Jackie Young play out of position, or Kelsey Plum out of position. So, I still think they should have brought Caitlin Clark, but they definitely should not have brought Breanna Taurasi. Whether you believe Ariel Atkins, Ryan Howard, or Clark, whatever you believe should have been that other guard, Taurasi should not have been there. And this is going to be one of those big, big games, because if Caitlin Clark, this is going to be one for her that matters. Like, there are very few matchups that, like, really matter. Even though Caitlin Clark's matchup is probably going to be with Cloud, who's one of the best pass-first point guards in the WNBA, I wouldn't, under any circumstances, I would not have Caitlin Clark guarding Taurasi. Taurasi's too smart off the ball, and Caitlin Clark's so bad at getting around screens that it's going to be bad. But I also, if I was Phoenix, I wouldn't put Taurasi near Caitlin Clark on defense. But at the same time, if Temi's able to play and they're able to run up and down, Griner's not going to be able to keep up. But this is going to be a very, very interesting game tomorrow. I think I'm calling Mercury by 10. I think the Mercury win this game. But it is going to be, this is as important a game. Other than facing off against Angel Reese, this is as important a game, because Taurasi's the one. Like, even with what Breanna Stewart said Like, Breanna Stewart basically just like, oh, she needs to win to be the GOAT. And that's fine. Like, you're obviously going to you're not going to call someone else the GOAT when you believe you are the GOAT. That's just simple as that. Like, you're not. You're not. Same with all these players. But Taurasi is, throughout the whole of college, was trying to belittle Caitlin Clark, and then was saying, like, reality is coming. And ironically, the reality is she's better than her right now. And then Taurasi also, when they were talking about the Olympic team, Taurasi was saying that we brought the best team to win a medal. We brought our best players, when Taurasi herself wasn't one. And then said, well, maybe if she'd won the championship, she would have been brought. Like, Taurasi has done nothing but try. In fairness, if you know anything about Taurasi, she's not going to be the one. Where, other than, like, say an Asia Wilson, who might, like, prop up the younger players. Taurasi, unless they went to UConn, Taurasi is never going to prop up a young player, really. Especially one in the mold of a Caitlin Clark. But it's going to be a game. It's going to be a game, and I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't think Caitlin Clark's going to take it personally, because I don't think she really is the type to take a game personally. I think she's the type to just try to go out and win games. I think she's going to be more hyped to win this game because she lost her last game against Chicago than she would be because against Taurasi. But man, like, the lack of respect Diana Taurasi has shown towards Caitlin Clark. And it's like, even, I can't remember what question that she was asked. Taurasi was asked a question about something not even relevant to Caitlin Clark, and she just goes and answers a completely different random thing, just puts on a happy voice and just goes, I'm so happy we have charter flights. Just out of nowhere. I can't even remember what the question was, but it was nothing to do with Caitlin Clark. Like, Diana Taurasi has done nothing but disrespect to Caitlin Clark since she's come out of college. And again, I don't necessarily think, like, anything is too malicious. I think that's just Diana Taurasi being Diana Taurasi. But at the same time, it's going to hype up this game. This is, of all games that I've been looking forward to for the Indiana Fever, the game against Diana Taurasi is the other one. Because I'm not a fan of Diana Taurasi just in general. I think the amount of cheap shots she's thrown, I think that she's a big reason. She's as big a reason as any that Arike dropped out of the Olympic squad. Like, I think she is the ringleader of the club, which a lot of players aren't invited to. I think she's the ringleader. I think the sooner she's gone, the better it's going to be for women's basketball. But that's not taking account that she's maybe the GOAT. She's one of the greatest players, if not the greatest player to ever play the sport on the women's side. She's called the White Mamba for a reason, and the fact she's still a borderline all-star level player at 42 is incredible. But look, I'm not a fan of her, and I really want to watch this game for that reason. If Taurasi goes and balls out, it is what it is. And look, at the end of the day, that it's still going to be a fun game. It's still going to be a really, really fun game. But I really, more so than any, I hope Caitlin Clark goes and cooks Taurasi tomorrow.